Buenos dias, comadres. Happy Monday. I thought it'd be nice to show you guys a day in my life. So we're starting with my morning routine. Now, I have been so far off of my workout routine. Typically, I like to get up with or without the baby, depending on whether or not he's waking up with me. Y'all know how that goes. With all of the sickness in the house, it was just nearly impossible to get up and work out. Part excuse, part legit. Just felt so challenging to get up and to work out, especially with all the congestion and then like constant headaches and just in general having the viddy, you have no energy. So I'm hoping to get upstairs and either do a bike ride or do some Pilates this morning. Casey took our oldest son with him to work today, so he's really excited that he gets to have some country fried beef steak. He's taking Ollie to go get a haircut, so that works out well for us. So it's gonna be mostly a girls' day, except for this guy. You want your vitamins? You want them? Good. So I thought I would show you a little bit of what my health routine is right now. It's changed a lot. This is what I use for the kids, is the Smarty Pants vitamins. And again, guys, like nothing on this channel is sponsored or any, if it were, I would be legally obligated to show some kind of thing here, but this is all just stuff that I buy and use and recommend from like my personal experience and what I use for my family. No more. So this is the brand that I've been using for several years. For the kids, they like the way that it tastes. They haven't had any issues with it. Another thing that I'll note in here as well is that this brand has folate and not folic acid, which is really important, especially if you have children with the MTHFR gene. And it does say that over here as well. We have a chicken in the bathroom. That's a whole nother story. We'll get to that. This is like my game changer, my must have this. Will not remove it from auto subscribe. The liquid zeolite and then the nano size zeolite. Why did you do that? No, dude, that's just not cool. Why would you do that? There's never a dull moment around here, let me tell you. Anyways, and the last thing that I take is activated quercetin. This says that it has the ability to inhibit histamine release. It also basically helps with stress, immune system, all that. One of the key ingredients in here is the bromelain. Bromelain is one that comes from pineapple, and that's something that I've seen recently as people are sharing more and more information, like helpful information on TikTok or whether you see it on Instagram, that you can use pineapple for that. Whether you're just eating pineapple, which I love, or cutting the peels off, saving that. There's just so many things that God has already given us that like we don't need to go buy these. I will link these and you're welcome to include them into your like regimen and your routine. For me, this is really easy. I don't always have the time to get in the kitchen and experiment and try, you know, making tinctures and all of that stuff. That hasn't quite been calling to me just yet, but there is things out there that you can do that might be more budget friendly if you have more time available to you. I read something in my Bible today. I just finished 1 Samuel. I finished all of the New Testament and then I went back to study the Old Testament. I was wrapping up 1 Samuel and I thought it was really interesting on here how David valued the men that went with him to fight against the Amalekites. And not just them, like they weren't the only ones that got to reap the benefits of all of the plunder, but he also shared with it equally to the men that stayed behind, that were too tired to keep going, and that stayed with all of their supplies. And I found that to be really interesting. One of the points that they brought up in church yesterday was briefly mentioning greed, whether that's financial greed, like our energy, our time, different things. And so our preacher had talked a lot about like having guardrails in our lives that keep us like on that straight and narrow path, that keep us from kind of veering off the track. It's curious to me that I should read this today, where it's just talking about how the men here were like, they're pissed, and they're like, they shouldn't get any of the plunder. They only get their wives and children back. They shouldn't get anything of the extra because they didn't go with us. And I can see their perspective. And on the other hand, I can see the other guys too, that they were too tired. They stayed and they guarded the supplies, and that's also valuable and necessary. And it's curious to me how we are greedy with ourselves. And I'm not talking, you know, we're greedy with other people, obviously. But I think that that only happens when we are greedy with ourselves. So to me, I made a note in here that David is showing us the value, the equal value of rest and productivity, of going out to fight and also staying back and guarding the home. And so that to me spoke a lot about like the masculine and feminine energies of valuing our men that go out and have to be in the matrix all day. And that's something that we've been discussing a lot more in our own home of, obviously my husband going out to work is, oh my God, I guess the flies are back. Interesting. You know, valuing what the man does to provide for the home, but also really valuing what the woman, the wife, offers inside of the home, staying home to nurture, to guide, to teach, to cook, to all of those things that a stay-at-home mom does. And so just interesting to me that it just says here, like, they will share equally. And that's just kind of what came up for me, was this. We've got 2 more teeth coming out, and hopefully, yes, get a little bit more independence. So those are just some of the points that I felt was really interesting, and I thought would be good to share. Is anyways, if you're curious to read it, it's 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse, well, really most of chapter 30 if you want some context, but specifically say the tail end of 21, but mostly 22. Chapter 30 verse 22 through 25. All right, let's do a little plant check. Nothing on the Lysianthus yet. My goodness, I don't know why, it's just not happening for me. So, these little guys are still kind of small. Don't know what's up with that, but okay. Nothing on our experiment tomatoes yet. These guys are looking cute. Looks like I might have put a little too many seeds in there, so I'm going to split them up. Same thing over here. But these guys were so tiny that I just kind of winged it. So I'm going to definitely have to separate these. These are the favorite berries. We're going to have to separate these guys as well. Peas are still looking good. They're floppy because they're getting really long, but we just had a frost last night, so I'm glad I haven't put these guys out yet. And then I planted yesterday cream sausage tomato, black cherry tomato, what else? Yellow pear and big rainbow. And down here I have the Amana tomato, cilantro, why did I say it like that? Cilantro, purple tomatillo, Italian Roma, and something sun tomatoes. And over here I've got a whole thing of oh, something's running in there. We've got a whole tray of more sunflowers. These guys are still kind of little. Hollyhocks are getting a little bit bigger though. Same down here with our zinnias, carnation, and snapdragon. Calendula's doing good in here. Sunflowers are looking fantastic. I'm super happy with that. Still good. And down here, nothing yet on the celosia. But I've got some dahlias coming in here on the petite florets and the Bee's Choice. These dahlias up here are looking really good. As you can see, they're starting to get some normal growth on here. I think these are going to be ready for me to transplant over. And in this one, I've got more floret. Ooh, seeing a lot of progress since just yesterday. So I think I only had like 3 or 4 in here. So that's looking good. And down here, we've got the floret zinnias. Almost all of them are up and out. That's cool. Doing pretty good over here. Some of this has gotten damaged because Juicy just refuses to listen and keeps opening and smushing them. And down here, we've got some lettuce, Cinderella peach. Looks like some of the dill is starting to sprout, and we've got something else. I don't know what it is. And then over here, again, nothing on the Lisianthus yet. My goodness, that is crazy. So I've got the something pastel back there and the pin cushion. So that's where we're at. These are getting really big. They're so cute now, standing up and walking around. I guess I spooked them right now, but you guys need some food. So I shared a couple of vlogs back that I made this. Ooh, that's ready. Fertilizer, basically, for my seedlings. And so I'm going to use this one today. How we doing in here, Chicoletta? That's so helpful. Hey, Luna. I was wondering why I couldn't find you. I heard something and I was like, what is that? I don't know what's going on with sourdough right now for me, but for whatever reason, I just cannot keep it alive. I had kept some sourdough in the fridge while we were sick because I just like couldn't maintain it day to day. And then I pulled it out and it had some sort of like yeast on it. And then the other one had mold. So I just got rid of all my stash basically. And I had a dehydrated sourdough starter that I tried to start and it just got all gross. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Juicy's asleep, okay? What was that? Kid on his,
oh, Daniel?
yeah.
Why'd you say yeah? You don't know the kid's name.
Well, because I assumed that you did. There you go. All right, let's try to conquer this. right, so I went through and sorted all of the kids' clothing to make sure that all the stuff that's on the racks is stuff that fits them right now. Ollie and Beta share a room, and mostly because they don't sleep in their rooms, so ultimately them sharing is not a huge deal. I have all these clothes up here that are their old stuff from the last time I sorted through, so I'm gonna take all of this off the shelf along with the stuff that I have here, and then couple little things that I got out of Ollie's drawer. And I'm using these vacuum seal bags from Target. These are the Bright Room. This is the extra large cube, and I think that that's going to be a good amount for the amount of stuff that I have. I've thought about donating, but frankly there's a lot of stuff in here, especially that's Ollie's, that Oren will be able to use, that's still good. And sometimes I do still think about opening our home up to foster care, and I feel like if we save all of these clothes, it'll be good for that. Ooh, that smells good. Our peach tree over here is starting to bloom. It looks like everything's doing okay with the frost. We had a frost last night, and looks like my peonies are doing all right, which is good. I was really worried about them when I saw the frost this morning, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, looks like everything's hanging in there. Ollie and I pruned this rose bush back just maybe a week or so ago, and it's looking really good. You'll see that chicken on the way back there. All right, so we've got 5 rows in. The 5th row is all the way across the garden. Go, Juicy, go! And so I think that's all we're gonna do for this year, and that's what we have to work with. I'm really happy about that. And if you saw earlier vlogs, you know that I totally wanted to expand into that area over here, but budget-wise, I think that this is where we're gonna have to stop for this year and see how we do, and then we can expand next year. Busted out the Birkenstocks for the first time today so I could come out into the garden. The next thing to do out here is just weed, honestly. Hey, put those back. Think you need a diaper change, bud? Do you know what I think is really great about gardening is that you can look at it like this, in this condition right now, and you think like, this isn't much. There's like, you know, it's ugly, it's nothing to see here, but so much is moving. And, you know, come 3-4 months, this is all going to be so fruitful and beautiful, green and lush, and there's going to be so much going on here. It's not going to look the same at all. What?
Change your headpiece.
Sure. Get off the rug. I feel some type of way about it being 5:15, fully sunny outside, and having to start dinner right now. I get to start dinner right now, but I also am like, I want to be outside now. And so this is my dilemma from now until September-ish, where I don't want to be inside cooking. I want to be outside frolicking in the sun. Anyways, Casey has basketball tonight at 7, so I'm gonna go ahead and start dinner so hopefully we can eat. Ooh, I think that one's gonna be really spicy. Is it too hot?
It's pretty spicy.
Your cheeks are red.
It hits.
Is it just because it's hot? Like heat, like temperature, or like?
It ain't.
All right, friends. Well, I managed to have some time to squish in a quick shower in there. Juicy's been up periodically since he laid down for the night. He's up again, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out the vlog here. I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.